Today, we're zeroing in on an animal that's honestly as iconic as it is mysterious. Yeah, we're talking about the camel. But look, we aren't just going to rattle off biology facts today. Oh no. We're actually decoding the ultimate survivor to uncover some seriously profound life lessons along the way. So let's just jump right in, shall we?
I want you to just picture the heart of an absolutely unforgiving desert. You've got sand stretching endlessly in literally every direction, and a single drop of water, well, that's treated like a precious treasure. Out in this harsh landscape, life isn't just difficult, it is, quite literally, an endless daily battle.
And yet, amidst all that extreme desolation, the camel doesn't just survive, it thrives. While most other animals would, quickly perish out there, the camel just confidently strolls right through intense heat and blinding sandstorms. So it really makes you wonder, how exactly does it survive where almost everything else utterly fails?
Well, to answer that, we really have to look closely at its physical form. Because the camel's entirely unique shape isn't just some random quirk of nature. Actually, it is literally built from the ground up for the desert.
Almost every single physical detail is part of this perfectly integrated survival system. Take their remarkably wide feet, for example. They act kind of like snowshoes, completely preventing them from sinking into the soft sand. Then you've got their exceptionally long legs, which are absolutely crucial for keeping their main body hoisted far away from the scorching heat radiating off the ground. And oh, those famous thick eyelashes? They aren't just for show. They're actually a double-layered shield to protect their eyes from whipping sand. Talk about a masterclass in design.
So, when we look at all this biological machinery, we start to realize a pretty profound truth. Success doesn't depend on having the most power. It depends on having the right tools for your reality. See, the camel doesn't conquer the desert through sheer brute strength. Not at all. It succeeds through flawless adaptability.
But hey, physical tools are really only half the battle here. The desert throws an even deadlier obstacle at anyone trying to live there: the complete, agonizing absence of water. For most creatures, a dry spell is basically a swift death sentence. But for the camel, it's a breathtaking showcase in the art of endurance.
These animals possess a truly miraculous ability to just push through severe droughts. And get this, when they finally do find water, they can drink up to 30 gallons in just 15 minutes to replenish everything they lost. 30 gallons. That is the ultimate masterclass in resource management. It shows us that the line between success and failure isn't always about how many resources you have on hand, but how wisely you manage them until relief comes.
Which naturally brings us to what is without a doubt the single most recognizable physical feature of the camel. I'm talking, of course, about that massive hump towering right over its back. Now, for generations, this one feature has sparked a very persistent rumor.
You know, a lot of people genuinely believe the hump is essentially a giant biological water balloon. But actually, the reality is way more fascinating. The hump doesn't contain water at all. Instead, it is packed solid with fat. It acts as a vital stored energy source. So when food becomes scarce, the camel just taps into this, fleshy backpack to keep itself moving forward. Think about it. The camel's hump is literally a living symbol of readiness. It tells us that a wise being doesn't just think about surviving today, right? It prepares for the hardships of tomorrow. And what's really important here is that this isn't rooted in some paralyzing fear of the future. No, it's about taking practical action right now so when tough times inevitably hit, you are completely ready to keep walking.
Now, if we step back from the biology for a second and look at the history, the story gets even richer. The camel was never merely a lone survivor wandering the desert. Across centuries, it actually became an indispensable partner to humankind. It earned that revered title, Ship of the Desert, for a very literal reason. It carried merchants safely across treacherous dunes. It moved vital trade across unimaginably vast distances. And it transported the very knowledge that connected otherwise totally isolated societies. Essentially, the camel performed on shifting sands exactly what majestic ships performed on turbulent seas.
Honestly, this incredible blending of cultures across some of the harshest terrains on Earth, it would have been completely impossible without the camel. It's a massive testament to the sheer endurance and patience of this incredible animal. It didn't just survive the desert, it enabled humanity to thrive in places where we otherwise never ever could have.
Which leaves us with this final, really profound thought to chew on. The camel navigates the brutal desert because it has the right tools, it manages its resources wisely, and it carries reserves for those tough days ahead. So, ask yourself, What tools are you carrying on your journey through the desert of life? Are you just relying on brute force, or are you adapting like the camel?